Well, looking back at New Mexico State, played terrific basketball all around. I think the only thing that we weren't great at was fouling, but part of that had to do with the physicality, the way New Mexico State played. But to win that decisively in a rivalry game was terrific. And thank you again to our amazing fans. That it impacts our program greatly. And now we move on to UC Santa Barbara, which 4-0 when they have their best player. It was a game that we scheduled kind of with the mindset of what we did with Oral Roberts last year. We felt as though this team that's made 2 NCAA tournaments in the last 3 years, we felt as though this would be a team that's picked to win their league and could be a potential quad 2 would be my guess. So we know we have our hands full. I know Mexico State is a bigger name to our fans, but we need our fans badly tomorrow because it is going to be a great challenge. But excited about it. And our guys, I think, will be ready to go. Jamal Mashburn Jr. will not play. He has had, obviously, the leg issue, but also a thumb issue that we're trying to rest as well. So he will be out tomorrow, but everybody else will be good to go.
When did the thumb issue?
That has happened. So he's been playing with tape on his thumb. The Rice was the game he got hurt. He got hit in both. And so we got an MRI on it, and, it's a slight tear, and I think he'll miss a little bit of time and revisit maybe in a week or two to see kind of how he feels and kind of go from there.
So for sure not for Santa Clara as well?
For sure, yeah.
Santa Barbara has a pretty good point guard. You guys have actually played a few teams with pretty good point guards this year. Now that you have both Jalen and Donovan, how do you like that matchup with their point guard?
Well, he's taller than a lot of the ones we've gone against. His numbers are ridiculous. You look at his percentages and you'd think he's a big guy. He's shooting 62, 63%. As I said before, they're undefeated when he's in the lineup. So he's people talking about it for the NBA. He's a guard with size. He plays with great just discipline and plays the right way. And so that'll be a team effort for sure on him because he's not your typical smaller point guard.
Guess that's it.
All right, thanks.
Did Sebastian tweak something the other night?
Yeah, his ankle. But he'll practice today, and he's a little hobbled yesterday, but he'll fight through it. Nothing serious.
After Saturday, you said you liked how your guys share the ball, or they're kind of playing more for each other now. Do you think that's just getting in the rhythm in a few games, or have you really?
I think it's contagious. 59 assists in the last 3 games. I say it over and over again to them, but the ball provides energy, and I think it starts with Donovan Dent. I mean, Donovan is one of the best point guards, and passing point guards in the country. He's the only player I believe in the country, right, with 2 10-assist games, no turnovers. So it starts with him, and it's contagious. Passing is contagious, and we chart every shot that we take, and we're shooting a high percentage at the rim for layups. We're shooting a very high percentage catch-and-shoot threes, so we got to continue to try to find those. Guys got to be willing to pass the ball, and we've certainly seen this over the last couple of games.
Over the last 2 games, it seems like the 3 ball has really been working for you guys. Is that just a matter of the guys are just finally hitting shots now, or? No,
I think it's all connected. Player movement, ball movement, passing on time, on target, and then confidence. I think you're seeing guys like Jamal Baker shooting with great confidence, True Washington shooting with great confidence. So it's been nice to see. We've put up some great offensive numbers. Our defense has been pretty good as well. So we've got over 8 games, we have the balance that we've been looking for, that we maybe didn't have last year. Now, can we sustain it? I don't know. Long season.
Is this what you envisioned when you decided you wanted to spread the floor and to create opportunities that we're kind of seeing right now?
No, I mean, I envisioned the 4 spot being able to stretch it a little bit more. I think Mustafa's a better shooter than he has shown. And I know he'll start hitting some shots. I think JT is, he's a freshman. He can hit the 3, but Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything, it doesn't matter what you run, how you run it. It's a matter of sharing the basketball. So that part of it has been great. Like I said, I think 59 assists in the last 3 games, and a lot of assisted jump shots and playing for each other. So it's been good.
Coach, do you feel like Nelly's finally caught up now, and just what are you seeing now, just game to game, as he's starting to get more comfortable with the team?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what we threw on his plate early was pretty ridiculous, but we had to do it, and we just didn't know, and that's why, we didn't look great versus St. Mary's. I mean, that game was you never know, right? I mean, but the fact that he gets here, 2 weeks before that game, and we're throwing him into the fire, we weren't ourselves. I feel like everybody's way more on the same page, and a lot of with Nelly is new terminology. There is a language barrier. He argues that there isn't, but there is. So, and just learning how to communicate with him throughout the course of a game. Like, we struggle with that a little bit at St. Mary's on the road, where it just seems a lot more in sync right now. We got to find Nelly the ball more too. He's working really, really hard to post up, to seal, to rebound. I think he only shot 2 shots last game. He needs more than that.
How do you know that he doesn't have how do you know he has no language barrier? Does he tell you? You said he tells you that.
Oh, he argues with me all the time. I always say, "You don't understand what I'm saying." He said, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do."
How do you know you're understanding what he's saying?
It's a great point. It's a great point.
So here's the hard-hitting question I was going to ask. All right.
Great.
This is provided by somebody on X.
Yeah.
When was the last time the Lobos have played a team with Santa in their name in the month of December? And you guys played 2 of them this week.
Well, was I here for it? No. Santa Clara, and one of the reasons we did it was just to engage with the community and with the holidays, and we wanted to make sure they felt that connection with our basketball program. So we set out to find the Santa Barbaras, the Santa Claras. Is that it? I don't think Santa Cruz. Yeah, but that was it. I mean, it's just I'm a family guy. I don't know the answer to that. No idea.
Defensively for your team this season, in the backcourt is the way it's been, players in and out, trying to find that offensive efficiency. How good has that been for you, having that as a foundation?
The defense? Yeah, I mean, it's been really good. I kind of felt like we needed to address the shot blocking. You have to have a presence at the rim. And with the ability to block shots, we've been able to speed up the game a little bit more because we're trying to get you to go to our shot blockers. We've also, one of the reasons why our defensive numbers are great is we're rebounding the ball very, very well, and that helps drastically. So I think those two things go hand in hand. We're doing a great job of limiting 2-point attempts. I think if you really dive into advanced analytics, like if you can limit those, you're going to have good defensive numbers. And the effort's been there and the buy-in's been there. And we talked a lot about, we got to get bigger on the perimeter. And you're looking at guys, whether it's Jamal Baker, whether it's Braden playing, Quentin playing. Like, you don't need to be 7 feet tall, but those guys are all 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and that can cover a lot of ground as well.
So I know it's only been 2 games. JT's week last week wasn't what the previous 2 weeks, which were really good, were. Is that just foul trouble, or are people starting to get more film on him?
I think last game was solely foul trouble, and then we had a big lead, and I wasn't really trying to play him. The game before was Texas Arlington. He was in foul. Louisiana Tech. He was in foul trouble as well. So I think the key for JT is staying on the court. There was the one game, I think it was Arlington, where he had, he was cramping up, and then foul trouble. So as a young player, he got amazing talent, but now you have to learn how to defend without fouling. And, you look at Quentin Webb, he comes in the game and fouls right away twice. And I think they're both good calls. So when he's on the court, he's incredibly productive. But the last 2 games, and last game was different. I mean, we had such a big lead. I didn't want to put him back in, but then somebody fouled out. I think it was forget who fouled out, and I had to put him back in. But last game was, a different deal for sure. But foul trouble has been a bit of an issue for him.
And your other freshman, obviously, freshman of the week, namely with Drew Washington, getting some of that recognition you were talking about Saturday. which is JT got all the headlines as the freshman, but now True's doing it too. Two freshmen in this day and age stepping up like they have so early in the season, it isn't happening really anywhere anymore. I know you've talked about how good they were and you knew this all summer, but did you think it'd be this quick that both of them would be playing such prominent roles?
No, I don't think you ever really know until the games start with freshmen. And I think both guys, they look ready for the moment. Where you're going to get talented young players, but you just don't know if physically and mentally they're going to be able to do it because you just haven't seen it. True is a fierce competitor. He creates offense from his defense, hitting shots, which you never know. But I think it's a testament to our staff. I mean, I think we have a decision to make in this NIL portal world of which way do we go. And we've had some really good transfers, really good. I still believe it's great to sign one or two that you really like. We've done that this year. We did that last year with True and JT. And my hope is they grow in this program and then they become major parts of it as they get older. Who knows with the way this whole landscape is going. But True has been very, very impressive, and JT has been impressive. But the key I believe with both of those guys is can they sustain it? Because it's still a long, long season.
Kind of along those lines, Coach Donovan's kind of in that role now from last year, and just showing the young freshmen along. Just what are you seeing in practice, just as far as the way that these guys are pushing each other or challenging each other when it comes to there's only 5 guys on the floor and one ball, and everybody's trying to get theirs.
Well, I've said this before. Everybody keeps asking me, well, how are you going to keep everybody happy? And I always say the job is not to keep everybody happy. But with that being said, the game before I didn't play Isaac Mushila. I wanted to play him. I just couldn't find time for him. I gave him an opportunity. He took advantage of the opportunity. Jamal Mashburn Jr. gets hurt. It puts True Washington in a position to play more, and he has produced. Just like Donovan Dent. He took advantage of Jalen House getting hurt. I don't want any of these guys to get hurt. But now you're starting to force me to say, okay, like I trust you. Not trust you as a person. We trust them all sometimes as people, right? But on the court. And they're building equity every single day. And they are pushing each other every single day. So it's been great to see. And that's certainly the key to building a program is to be able to sustain injuries. We were not able to sustain a huge injury last year with Jalen House. Right now we have. Hopefully we can get healthy and not have to deal with all that.
But are you seeing practices get even more and more competitive?
Well, I mean, there's times of the I'm gonna be honest. Like we want everybody healthy tomorrow. We're not. I find it silly to hit each other the day before a game. And this is a time of year where whether you're in Vegas, you're not practicing as much. Like we'll ramp it up during finals week. But yes, it's been competitive, and I try to change the teams very, very often. But yeah, that's how it's going to make everybody better. That competition's huge.
Did it surprise you at all that how good True is on the defensive end of the floor?
No, I thought that's what he would bring. Yeah, he's good there. The offensive side of it probably is more surprising than the defensive side of it. When you watched him in AAU in high school, he was quick to passing lanes. He was quick to create some offense from his defense. So that part of it, not necessarily as surprising. The making shots, attacking the rim, that's been really, really good.
As far as his getting into passing lanes and stuff, we've seen it in the previous 2 years where Jalen sometimes a little high risk, high reward a little bit. But now that Nelly's back there, does it make it a little easier for a True and for a Jalen to maybe take some of the risks they do take?
I think we're scrambling better this year than last year. I think True was taking some risks that, especially in the front court, he's gambling, and sometimes like they missed a wide open 3 in New Mexico State because of his gamble. So yeah, we want you to be aggressive and cover for each other if somebody makes a mistake. We're definitely flying around more defensively than we were last year. And that will allow you to be a little bit more aggressive. But there's a balance, just like with Jalen early, we want you to be aggressive, but not at the expense of everything. But True's, it's been beneficial. I mean, he's gotten some really big steals at times.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, first net rating came out yesterday. You guys are at 36, and that's with all the injuries and stuff. So So I mean, as you guys continue to get healthy, I mean, where do you like? I mean, you're
Yeah, I look at, honestly, Ken Palm a lot more than net rankings this early in the year. I think when you have really good balance in the advanced analytics, you'll have a higher net ranking. Obviously, if you're 36 in the end of February, you're in good shape, right? So, I mean, it's a long season. I think everybody's a lot more educated now as to what's going into this whole process, which is good. And I do think that these metrics can motivate your guys in December a little bit more than maybe it was in the past. So yeah, I think analytically we're putting up some phenomenal numbers, and we're doing that with one of the best scorers in the country out, and Jalen House was out as well. So after 8 games, pretty pleased, but certainly know it's a long season.
Is Donovan Dent still dealing with anything with the back spasms? Or
No.
A follow-up to the net thing, I mean, Ken Palm, I look at more too, but the net is what establishes the quad system. December 4th net compared to January 4th net is going to be quite different. But I am curious what you think of getting 5 teams in, and one of them, Boise State's, a good 60 spots out of, where you guys all are. I think they were at 120, so
Yeah.
they're quite far out. But 5 of you guys are in 36 makes conference play what it was last year, where you have opportunities in conference play. So how much do you look at the analytics just in terms of the whole conference?
Yeah, I mean, we broke down, okay, if it all ended today, what are the quad 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, throughout our whole schedule, because, I think for us, scheduling everybody deals with it. It's very, very unique and challenging. You look at Boise, and they're a great example of, did they overschedule? And how are the fans dealing? I mean, I don't know how many losses they have. 3 or 4, maybe 3. Well, they have 3 losses that are understandable because they schedule really hard. Even St. Mary's scheduled really, really hard. So for all the fans that complain that your schedule is not hard enough, don't jump on the coaches when they do schedule hard. I think Boise State they'll get back to where they should be from a net ranking standpoint. But to your point, non-conference is not a perfect science. But the answer is always your conference having several teams that could provide great value to your quad wins in January and February. And it's great to see whether it's the traditional ones that are really good in San Diego State, but now you've got us that are certainly on the rise. You've got, Nevada is obviously consistently really, really good. Colorado State, obviously terrific, one of the best players in the country in Isaiah Stevens. So I think just the commitment level to this conference being a good basketball conference is there, and I think it can continue as we are in this arms race. There's no reason why we can't be I know we have football, but the Big East version of the West. I really do believe that, especially now with the Pac, whatever it is, going away.
We know what's going on with football as far as Washington State and Oregon State. Do we know what's going on with the basketball end of it at all?
I don't. No, I don't. They only talk about basketball. All the administrators and president, they only care about football. I mean, not basketball. No, just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I would assume that football scheduling thing could maybe trickle over to basketball, but I don't know that. I have no idea.
I don't know how they're going to have a conference schedule if they don't do it.
Yeah, I would think they would have to, but I don't know.
Anything else?
Just with the 3-point shooting, Coach, are you seeing anything standing out as far as the way that teams are defending you guys? I mean, it seemed like there's been times where teams are almost daring you guys to shoot threes.
I don't see that. No, I don't see that with our guys. I think the ball movement has been really good, and I think that we're playing with really good balance. And I think when you got a decision to make. How are you going to guard a ball screen or a dribble penetration or whatever? So I think a lot of the reason why we're scoring the points, we're playing the right way, and it's coming from a lot of guys, as well as our defense is creating offense. So I don't think anyone's daring us to shoot. I would advise against that. I think we've got good enough shooters to make those shots. But I think more than anything, it's been really good player movement and ball movement.